or types of process-aware information systems. Now, when we talk about process automation in a broad sense, it refers to any intent we have to automate any part of a piece of routine work that's contained within the business process. So if you look at any business process, no matter how small, no matter how large, then that business process may be carried out over a number of functional areas in the business. It may be carried out within one specific functional area in a business. The moment we want to think about computerizing any part of it, we're talking about process automation. Now, this process automation can take place. It can be a simple operation that might be performed as part of one single process activity. So in a business process, we might be processing a part of one activity, or we might be talking about a number of automated activities which are coordinated over an entire complex process. And some of the process-aware information systems and business process management systems help us do this. So as an example, remember back in session 3 and in a few sessions since, we've been talking about an order to cash process. Now, we did model the order to cash process back in session 3, if any of you can remember it. That's when we first started talking about BPMN 2.0 diagrams. That was one of our first examples, the order to cash process. Okay, here's the order to cash process. Okay, let's read through this. So every time a seller receives a purchase order, this is automatically dispatched to the ERP systems of the warehouse and the distribution department, where the availability of the product is checked against the warehouse database. If the product is not in stock, the relevant suppliers are automatically contacted via a web service interface so they can manufacture the product. Otherwise, instructions are sent to a warehouse worker using an electronic form to manually retrieve the product from the warehouse. Then subsequently, an order clerk from the sales area receives notification that a new order needs to be confirmed via email. That clerk would then log into the purchase order tracking system within the sales area, and they check the order electronically and confirm it by pressing a button. So there's an order to cash process system. So in that example here, this order to cash process system, in this example, dispatching a purchase order, the automated check of the product's availability, the automated web message, these are all part of process automation. So these are all manifestations of a process automation. And what they do, each one of them is automating a particular aspect of a process. Maybe not the entire process, but they're certainly automating a part of the process. And in that context, what we're referring to is an automated business process all becomes known as a workflow. So if we go back and look at this, we can get elements of a workflow. So every time a seller receives a purchase order, okay, it's automatically dispatched to an ERP system. So that becomes part of a workflow. A work order then flows into the ERP system in the warehouse. And it's automatically, a copy is sent to the distribution department, so where the availability can be checked. Now, the availability can be checked automatically online. Again, that would be part of a workflow system. If it's not in stock, relevant suppliers are automatically contacted. The work then flows on, so a part of that workflow system would then automatically contact suppliers so they can manufacture a product. Otherwise, instructions are sent to a warehouse worker. The work then automatically flows to the warehouse worker. So when we talk about automated business flow, we also talk about workflow. So workflow is an older term, but it's still very, very relevant in what we do. So a process becomes automated either in whole or in part by a software system. And what the software system does is it passes information from one participant to another for action. And this is what workflow systems do. So when we automate work, even if we're automatic office work, you might be working in a large building which has a number of people, they perform different functions, and they might do a lot of clerical work. An automated workflow system, rather than somebody doing something at their desk, then getting up, walking a piece of paper to somebody else, maybe on the same floor, maybe on a different floor, and then that person doing their bit, then taking a piece of paper somewhere else, or batching them, wait till they get a stack of them on their desk, then move them to somebody else's desk. These things can be done automatically by a workflow system. So you might receive, you've got an automated workflow system on your desk, you receive notice of a piece of work, you do what you have to do, you press a button, and then the system will automatically take that and then flow it on to the next person in the chain. So that's why they're termed workflow system. So they pass information from one participant to another for action according to either the temporal or the logical dependencies, which are set down as in the rules in the underlying model. Okay, so systems that work with automated business processes are called process-aware information systems. Okay, so process-aware information systems are systems that work with automated business processes. Important point.
The Victorian Institute of Technology has other great videos covering many different topics. Please check them out, and thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe the video for more great content like this.